everyone, it's Alyssa from Planned Alyssa. I'm coming to you here on a very gray and rainy Friday morning here in Pennsylvania. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to, but hopefully it gets a little sunnier today because it's kind of dreary, and hopefully this video doesn't come out too dark. What did I sell on Etsy this week? I sold 18 items on Etsy for a total of $277, so it has been a really good week. It's been a really busy week too. If you saw, I did put out a book earlier this week, my first nonfiction book, how to make money selling vintage items on Etsy, which is now available. I have had some requests for signed copies, so I will be adding a listing in my store for in my Etsy store for people to buy signed copies if you really want. But I haven't done that yet because it's just been that kind of week, and I'm just scrambling to catch up with things. I went out and did some rummage sale and thrift store shopping yesterday, so I actually have a haul video that I'll be making. I started making, but I haven't finished making it, so look for that soon. And yeah, in the meantime, here is everything that I sold this. Well, here's the shop stats first, and then I'll show you everything that I sold. Keep in mind that the selling price you see is just the sale price of the item, doesn't include shipping fees paid by the buyer, and doesn't include any fees I paid to Etsy or fees I paid to purchase the item. But without further ado, here are this week's shop stats. Okay, here's a look at the shop stats for the week. There were a total of 2,377 views. About 1,500 of those were listing views, and then the balance were shop views. 172 favorites, and most of those were listing favorites, so individual items that were favored, and 13 orders. Two of those were orders that had multiple items in the order, and for a total of $277 in revenue. Below that we can see the graph of when sales came in. Again, just pretty steady over the week. I guess started off slow and finished a little bit slow, but overall pretty steady for the week. And now we'll take a look at each of the different items that sold. First item that sold this week was a souvenir pennant. This one was from New Mexico, sold for $10, not a super old one of the printed style ones, and a smaller size pennant, not like a big giant one, not the really mini ones, but definitely a smaller sized felt pennant. And this is something I picked up in an auction lot. I sold some vintage coasters. These are Pimpernel coasters with scenes of London. Now, this is not a complete set. There were 6 originally in the set. I only had the 5, and they did have some wear and damage on them. I had them listed for 10, and somebody offered me 5 on them, and I decided to take it because they weren't in perfect condition. And well, these were pretty worn too, but they're also pretty old and pretty cool. These were 2 vintage children's books. I sold the set for $50. And what were the titles on these? I don't know, Grunty Grunts, and I don't know. So really kind of cool older children's books. You don't find as many, I feel like, children's books in decent condition. I won't say great condition, but you know, they get pretty beat up and worn over the years, so it's pretty cool to find these. These are probably things I picked up at a library book sale. Sold a vintage postcard this week. This sold for $6. This is like a linen style tinted postcard. As you can see by the cars in the picture, it's pretty old, and it was unused condition. No writing or anything on the back. And I sold a vintage cross-stitch pillow kit with a Christmas theme. Sold for $15. This one might have been stamped cross-stitch, if I'm remembering correctly. And I do not remember where I picked this one up. I think this one might have come from a thrift store. And I sold some more books. This buyer bought 2 different sets of books, so these and the next ones you'll see. This set sold for $30. There were 4 books. They all were like different literary classics, so more of a content sale as opposed to a decorator set. While on the other hand, this set was more sold for the looks of it, like a rainbow kind of look. Hard to tell in this picture, but it's like red, yellow, green, blue there. Sold for $25, and this had 5 books in it, but they're books you haven't heard of, or things like Bible history that aren't really that desirable. And then I sold this Daisy Duck snapback cap. It almost looks like a plush stuffed animal when you see it here, but it's actually a baseball cap. It sold for $35. This is something I picked up just a couple of weeks ago at a rummage sale, church sale type thing. I sold this vintage half apron. It's got a Christmas theme to it. It sold for $12. It is made of like a netting tulle fabric, so not maybe the most practical, but definitely pretty. And then it has little jingle bells on it, and the center jingle bell is actually a ceramic bell that says like Merry Christmas or said something on it. I don't remember. But where did I get this one? I don't even remember where I picked this one up. I think this might have come from an auction lot. Okay, this item and then the next four you're going to see all were bought by the same buyer. So she bought this set of note cards for $7. I think there are about a dozen cards in this set. Really pretty, blank cards on the inside, cute illustrations on the front. Came with the envelopes, really thin cards, like almost like a paper type material. So it would have been good for like international mailing. And then the same buyer bought these lacing paper dolls. They have the different outfits, but you attach them by lacing them with yarn. Now this sold for $4. I originally had this priced at $8. This was something I marked down to 50% off, and so it did sell for $4. And these were originally made by Current Cards. I don't remember where I picked them up. And then this was just a set of vintage, canceled postage stamps. Nothing too exciting. I think there were about 30 stamps in this lot, and it was not something I bought specifically. It was in like maybe an auction lot or something else I bought, and just decided to list them, see if anyone could use them for crafts or anything like that. So that sold for $4. And then sold this vintage set of Christmas stationery. There were, I don't know how many in there, about a dozen maybe, and they're like fold and seal type notes with pretty vintage illustrations and obviously a holiday theme there. Sold for $10, and I'm trying to remember where I picked these up because I didn't get them that long ago. I think they came from a thrift store. And finally, the last item in this order is this paper doll set. This is Peggy Has Real Curls. So she has actual hair, like a doll's hair, but it's a paper doll, and a whole bunch of outfits, and her friend Dottie there. Reason I knew the name, these were missing the original box, but there was actually like a piece of the box originally in this lot, and it's something I picked up at an auction a while ago and just finally got around to listing. And then I sold this vintage toy payphone. It sold for $15. It's plastic, has the coins there, has a little rotary dial, and it's something I picked up at a rummage sale not too long ago. And yet another Christmas item that sold this week. I sold this pair of Christmas ornaments in the shape of knee hugger elves for $15. There's one, a red outfit, one a white ivory outfit. These were part of an auction box lot from back in the spring, although I only just got around to listing these too. And then this was my only international order of the week. This was going off to London. This is a tin, a Camel cigarettes tin, sold for $15. It's not super old. It's from the 1990s, in pretty good shape, not in perfect shape. Definitely, as you can see, has a little bit of wear there. And finally, I sold this vintage ladies scarf for $9. Pretty cool, like mod style design with with the squares and the bright flowers and the bright colors, green and orange and yellow. And where did I get this? I think this came from a thrift store. So that is everything that I sold this week, and yeah, really happy. My goal for the week is $200, so more than met that. And now it's just I got to get some more stuff listed, and I have stuff ready to list, but I have to take pictures of it, and we're just well, as you can see how dark this video is, it's just not really good picture taking days, and I don't know, I looked at the forecast, it doesn't look too good for the next week or so, but we'll see. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you're selling lots of stuff too. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Happy selling, everyone!